I'm gonna buy the Predator in today's video, but as you can tell from my account, I'm only level 45. So when I look at these guides on how to build him, they're featuring gears and artifacts that I simply do not have. So in today's video, I'm gonna make a beginner's guide on how to build him and what item sets you should use that you probably already have. Let's actually dive into the pass and purchase it. I've already completed the pass. I was just delaying this as much as I can until I thought, okay, now's the time to actually get him. So it's 40 quid. I think it should be $40 in the US, which is cheaper. But in the UK, we pay a little bit more. Pretty annoying. Here we are. The Elite Pass has been purchased. As you can see, we get some mythical Instinct set. It's only a 6 set, I believe, but that will be important in today's video. So I'm going to go ahead and collect all of it. I'll enjoy those 30,000 clan v clan points, and then here's all the stuff we have. We won't touch upon the glyphs in this video, that's for another day, but for now I'm gonna just look at what the gear is, see what their stats are, and if the stats are good, I'll explain why and then actually put them on him. If they are not good, we're going to look at something else that we can build on. Now let's have a look at our Instinct gear. So here is my 6-piece mythical Instinct set that I got from the Champions Pass. So let's start with the weapon, and it has a flat attack stat. Now this cannot change on any weapon on any set. It is always a flat attack stat. And then on top of that, our substats are a flat HP, that is not very good, a percentage critical rate, that is very good, a flat speed stat, that is very good, and then crit damage percentage stat, which is pretty darn good. So not too bad there. Moving on to the helmet is a flat HP stat, the same as the weapon, it cannot change. Moving on to the substats, you've got a flat attack, that's not very good, a flat defense, not very good, a percentage HP for the Predator, this is really good, and I'll explain a bit later on in the video, and we have a speed stat, which is very good. Okay, looking pretty good so far. Moving on to the shield, we have a flat 35 defense, again, same with the helmet and the weapon, that cannot change. So these three cannot change, they'll always have the base flat stat there. Then we've got accuracy 11, not too bad, very middling, you know, it's not good, not bad. Then we have crit damage, pretty good, then a flat HP, not so good, but a speed stat, very good. So not too bad there. And then moving on to the gauntlets, we have a 10% defense stat. Now that is pretty darn good, it's on the better side of stats that you want. The best base stat you can get on gauntlets, without a doubt, is crit rate. If you can get crit rate on gauntlets, they are top tier. Percentage defense stat, not bad. Percentage attack, not bad. Percentage HP would have been very good on the Predator, but percentage defense, not bad at all. Now onto the substats, we have flat attack, not very good. Attack percentage, pretty good. Accuracy, middling, and then crit rate, very good. You know, not too bad. We're on just above average right now, but it can get very bad very quickly. Moving on to chest plate, attack 10%. Now I believe you can only get attack, HP, or defense on chest plates, and they can be flat stats or percentage stats. So because this is a percentage stat, that's very good. Then we've got crit damage, pretty good. Accuracy, middling, flat HP, not so good. And then percentage defense, pretty darn good. And then moving on to the boots, we have another defense 10%. Now the best stat you can get on boots is speed, because no other item or gear can get a base speed stat. So if you can get speed on boots, very, very good. So 10% on defense is on above average, but still not the best. And then we have accuracy, middling, flat HP, meh. And then percentage crit rate, pretty darn good, very good actually, and then a percentage attack, pretty good. So judging by this, I might re-roll some of these, but this is a pretty good set, so much so that I think I will actually use this on the Predator, because it gives you 12% speed and ignores 20% of the enemy defense. This is pretty much a better Savage, because you only ignore 25% of the enemy defense there, whereas for here you lose 5% but get 12% speed instead. That is such a great trade-off. So I will be using these items on the Predator. So what would I have done if the instinct set was really bad and just had flat stats across the board? What else would I use? Well, the first thing we need to do is take a look at the champion's abilities. So if I go over here and look at the skills and click any one of them and go to the bottom of the skill, you can see damage based on and then the stat. So here we have HP. And then on the other one, we have HP, and on our A3, we also have HP. And obviously, Predator is a HP champion here. It can change from champion to champion, since Kayla's attack, a lot of these attacks are based on attack. Support, these are based on defense with Tagoar. So the more defense she has, the more damage these attacks deal. So with the Predator, the more HP he has, the more damage he deals. So you don't really want to be stacking on attack sets, you know, something that could buff his attacks. You might want to put ignore defense because that is still very, very strong, but you want HP, HP, HP. So what would we use for that? Well, if we go back to our items, the first thing you're going to see is life. The 15% HP, that's pretty much a 15% increase on all the abilities the Predator uses in terms of attack. But we have better items than that. I'm level 45, so I've got some other items that I would use over life. But again, if you are very, very early to the game, a very new player, you might want to go with life because these are very easily farmable in the campaign. And once you get to Nightmare on the campaign, you can start farming 6-star items for chestplate, gauntlets, and you can keep farming until you get the right stats for the right champion. So that's the great thing about these budget sets, is that you can keep farming until you find the best one. But I have something a little bit better than just life, is divine life. It is statistically better by all means over standard life because you get that 15% HP as the standard budget one gives you, but then also a 15% HP self shield for 3 turns. That is pretty darn significant. What else I would pair this with would be none other than Immortal. Now, Immortal gives you 15% HP as well, but heals you by 3% of your max HP every turn. So since the Predator will have a bunch of HP once we're done with him, 3% of that is going to be a lot. You know, it's going to be a big, big heal. So I would run this. I would actually run 2 sets of Divine Life and 1 set of Immortal, or if I don't have that readily available, I'd go for 2 sets of Immortal and 1 set of Divine Life. If I couldn't do 2 sets on one and 1 on the other, and I could only do 1 of each, then I'd probably also move on to like Divine Speed, because then I can get that 12% speed, but on top of that, that 15% HP self shield doesn't increase the Predator's damage in any way, because shield doesn't increase the damage, it's only HP, but that speed is still really, really nice. Again, you could use perception to get that speed and accuracy, but again, we're starting to diverge away from this because you can only get these item sets if you're forging items, and you have to be like level 30, 35 for that. And even then, I don't know if I'd fully recommend perception for a budget build like this. There is some other options as well. If you use the promo code 1 week gift, I think it only really works for players that have been playing for more than a week on the account, but less than a year. Then you get a full 6 set of Slayer. I got this from my promo code here. And then if you put 6 pieces on, then you're getting crit rate, crit damage, speed, and then you fill your turn meter by 5% for every hit on each enemy from AoE attacks, or per the first hit on each champion from AoE attacks. It's pretty darn strong on the Predator because of his A2, but after that you're getting really nothing else from it. So you could use Slayer, but everything I just mentioned earlier is statistically better. Let's just take a look at my Divine Life and my Immortal sets. What would I use on the Predator here? So just looking around on here with my epics, I have like, you know, standard 25% attack, and then you got a crit damage and a percentage attack. On this one I've got percentage HP. That one's very nice, but you know, their resistance and accuracy is, you know, middling. But then I have this one here, which has an attack 85, a legendary immortal. It has 8% HP, really good. Resistance is 8, not too bad. Crit rate 8%, brilliant. and then crit damage 4%. This one's great. I would absolutely use this on the Predator. And then let's take a look at some of the other ones that we have here. We have a helmet that has speed and then a percentage defense and then just some flat attack. This is still pretty darn good. Then we have the shield here, which is a crit rate and a 5% HP. Probably would use this on the Predator just for that 5% HP. This one actually probably better, I would say, yeah, because of the crit damage percentage that we get from this one. Some enemies are pretty good. Damn, maybe I should use Immortal, but I'll just use the lethal for now and go from there. And then if it's not working out for me, I can start building from Immortal and Divine Life. So that's a good example of just deciding what type of items that you want to use on a champion. With the Predator, and like every other champion, if you don't have the luxury of using Merciless, which is statistically probably the best set in the game for any champion that deals massive amounts of attack, you have to look at, do they scale on HP, do they scale on attack, do they scale on defense, and then choose accordingly. So Divine Life, Divine Speed, Divine Critical Rate, Divine Offense, these ones are the ones that you hope you can use, and if you don't, you want to use the budget versions, which is just Critical Rate, Life, Speed, so on and so forth. Well, first things first is actually fully leveling up our Predator to level 50, and then ascending him to at minimum 3 stars. That way we can get our new skill, the Cloak, that allows us to get up to a 60% evade, 20% chance increase for every champion that you kill. So let's go ahead and put that at level 3 Ascension. I'll take those tournament points, very nice. And then let's also just quickly take one last look at the stats. We are standing in on a total of 30,000 HP at level 50. So of course we need to get him to level 60 at some point, but level 50. Compared to like Ezio, who is fully ascended, only at 23,000. I think Tagoar would have a lot more. No, 22,000. Mikey, he is 5-star awoken, so he's going to have 40,000, a fair bit more than the Predator there on 30. I think the same with the Xenomorph as well. Oh no, just roughly the same. So that'll be very interesting to see when we can get him to level 60, just how much HP he'll be able to have. And then of course Kale at 29,000. So he's our second highest HP champion in my roster right now. Okay, so here we are. We're going to put in the Predator as our team leader aura, and then I think I'm going to keep Mikey and the Xenomorph. Tagoar probably is better to keep as well, because Ezio doesn't do super well in Arena. Kale I could use as well, because especially since he's level 60. Nah, I think I'm going to go with Tagoar, just so I can keep the heals up and the speed increase and the debuffs removal and so on and so forth. So let's go with this and take a look at just what the Predator can do. There's that first counterattack. That's because we get a 50% evade on the first turn before even Predator can even attack, which is really nice. So there was another counter attack, still got that 50%. Let's move the infestation onto High Catan there, and now here we go. Let's do our A2. Let's see how much damage it does. Pretty good. Not perfect, but still pretty good. And there we go. Bye bye, Ezio. Nice. Not bad at all. Let's move on to one more battle, get that A2 running one more time. Okay, here we go. Folin is really nasty to go against here. He does a lot of damage to my team. But now that we've got a nice even spread of affinities, all 4 of them actually, hopefully it might help our survivability. I'm not going to hit Folin. I want to see how much damage Folin can do to the Predator. I'm going to go ahead and just land it on Tagoar, because she's really annoying to go against. Oh, True Fear, so he didn't get to go. Anyway, let's try our A2. Not bad. It's not a lot of damage. I think we need to get him to level 60 and maybe rework some of his items. Maybe Lethal or Instinct, sorry, was not strong enough. So maybe that is the case. But it's not all over yet, especially if he can knock out 1 or 2 champions. Because right now, Mikey can take all the evade, and if Mikey starts going down, the Predator can start taking some of the evade instead. I'm going to go with this. Nice. Block the revive, so he can't be revived anymore. And we get that 20% evade, which is really, really nice. Get out of here, Bolin. Get that stun. And now, I think we can... that might kill to Anorak, so I might lay off that and let... yeah, let's see if you can knock her out. Nice. So that's a 40% evade now that we've got. I think Bolin... Oh no, we've still got the taunt, haven't we? There's that pesky revive. I need to get rid of Anorak again. Stop her from healing. Oh, didn't knock any of them out. But we did avoid that. That's nice. And then we get that counter. And we avoided that attack. And counter that as well. A lot of evade here. Very nice. And then we can throw that. Block the revive. Avoid that and counterattack that. Get that taunt back on Mikey. And just finish the job. Especially now he can't revive most of his team, thanks to the Predator. He can revive Folin, though. Nice dodge. Nice attack back. Let's use this AoE. There's that. Yeah, it's 60% max now. 60% evade. How brilliant is that? On top of, you know, Mikey's 15%. Brilliant. Well, there you go. No, I think that was a really good demonstration, actually, of the Predator and cancelling out those revives with the A3 and so on and so forth. So, not bad at all. Very happy with that. But let me know what you think about this guide. Was it helpful to you understanding how to build a champion when you don't have the best sets, so on and so forth? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, if you are new to Raid Shadow Legends and want to pick up the Predator before he leaves the game forever, go ahead and use our creator link in the pinned comment down below. Click that, make an account. You instantly get Elenaril as your starter champion, as I mentioned earlier. She's a brilliant legendary poison damage dealer, pairs very nicely with Kale and Ezio, which you can also get for free as your second legendary if you log in for 7 days straight. And then finally, if you use the promo code Desert Queen, you get your third and final legendary to Anorak, which is a brilliant void support. But besides that, guys, I have been Charlie, you've been watching Bovine Raid, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys.